So August 10th, coming into the market here. Long term, my 60-minute chart had a big move down, but overnight we've been popping up. We had some news here at 8:30, sent the markets up. 9:30, I'm definitely looking for a long, just a little retracement, looking for a bounce back up. So here's 9:30, coming up right on VWAP. We're breaking below VWAP a little bit on the ES, so I might just wait and see what it does here. Approaching the 50 SMA on the 5-minute. Got a pivot point below. Got some negative delta coming in on the NQ. It's looking a little bit bearish at the moment, but I don't think it's going to get much past this pivot or this 20 line on this pivot line, or there's a 20 line on the 60-minute. So just grabbed a little bounce off the VWAP. We had a bunch of delta coming in on the ES. Some good sized volume to the upside coming in on the ES. And just after this huge move, 8:30, we got our retracement back. Definitely looking for more moves up. Had a very nice bounce off of VWAP there. We got a ton more delta coming in off this volume delta indicator for NINZA. Got the colored VWAP from NINZA showing green, 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 trends up. We got green candles, the 5-minute. Got our first green candle on the ES here. We got a close above the 20 line on the NQ, but the candle never turned green. It's because I got a smoothing enabled on this. Just because it closes right above this 21 EMA, I've got a smoothing of a 3 EMA, so if I get a little blip like this, it doesn't turn the candle green. It's got to break above it. Green boner candle like this. Barely ever trade the ES, I just look for it for extra confirmation if anything. I'm always looking at the close of the 5-minute. I want to see how much volume's coming in at the close, how much delta's coming in. Hardly any delta coming in on the NQ. Lots of positive delta on the ES. So the ES came back down to the 21 line and got a nice bounce up. It's keeping the NASDAQ afloat, looks like. Looks like we're going to close with quite a bit. 19K. Positive volume. Got clear sailing up to R1 here, so just got that 5-minute close. Go for a bigger profit target here. Tons of delta coming in on the ES. Got some resistance here, 35 and 40 support resistance radar, but it blew through it on the 8:30 candle. Still, it would be a bad idea to just get out right in this area here, just in case. But yeah, this is the one screen trade setup. NQ 5-minute, NQ 1-minute. Got my MNQ on the 60-minute in case I want to trade some micros. Got the innovative ordering buttons from NINZA. That's so I don't have to take up all this screen space with NinjaTrader. Just got these big ass buttons on the bottom, easy to click on, and I get more screen space. But yeah, 60-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute on the NQ, and then I got a 1-minute on the ES, just to watch the levels on the ES. It's all the same levels. I got the pivot points, the support and resistance from the pivots. I've got yesterday's low and high and yesterday's close. But yeah, look at all this delta on the ES. It's just going up and up and up. Still not much delta coming in on the NQ, but seeing this on the ES. That's why I look at the ES and the NQ. But yeah, once we have a break above a certain level, you know, I'm either targeting the next level up on my chart, which is R01 right now. If everything's going as planned still, we got from VWAP up to R1 on the ES. See if we get there on the NQ. Getting close to another 5-minute candle close, depending on what happens in the last minute. Right now we are looking to close some good sized positive volume, 13K. I don't like to enter in to trades unless I'm seeing some major motivation when it's getting close to the end of the 5-minute. I like to wait and see where the 5-minute candle closes here. Got a nice little retracement down to the 21 and the center of the opening range. Looks like a great place to get long. It's about to close on the 5-minute here. Go ahead and get in. Got a nice 16K positive volume. That's the volume candles indicator from NINZA. It's just showing the candles with the bigger volume. I got it on the 1-minute charts too. But nothing but positive volume. Green candles up about $700 for the day. But we got our candles turning green. It's from this moving average crossover indicator from NINZA. When it crosses above the 21 EMA here by a good amount, it'll turn the candles green. So pretty simple. Just let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 NINZA indicators. Plus I've got this free NINZA indicator, this bar timer up here. I love this bar timer indicator they have. They call it the bar status. I can change this to any size, any color. It really helps to have this bigger bar timer up compared to what comes with NinjaTrader. What comes with NinjaTrader is this tiny little text thing that's in the corner that you can barely see. So this definitely helps remind me to wait for a close of a candle before getting into a trade, just for the extra confirmation. But yeah, 5 NINZA indicators in my basic setup, plus I've got the composite market profile, which I use in the 60-minute, and the support and resistance radar, which is making these like orange and blue lines, major areas of support resistance. So a couple extra indicators on the 60-minute. And then everything else is just what's included with NinjaTrader for free. Just the pivots and yesterday's open, low and close. And this VWAP has a bunch of different options. You can have multiple support resistance bands off the VWAP. I like just having the basic color change from green to red on the VWAP. That really helps remind me of the trend. I can just take a quick glance here and see the trend's obviously up. Check out the candles, check out the VWAP. Look at my volume and my order flow coming in. Try to keep it as simple as possible. I basically have, I'd say 5 different things that I always have in every system that I make. Support and resistance, order flow, volume, price action, and volatility, which, includes basically trading at the right time of day. You want markets to be volatile enough to move from target to target. So I usually only trade first hour and a half of the New York Open. And look at all this delta coming in. A couple of, I wasn't looking at it at the moment, but when that candle closed at 2300 and it broke above resistance 1, that would have been a great long right there. Looks like we're going to make it up to our first target of R1 on the NQ, and a nice little pullback to the 21 EMA and the center of the open range. Since I got that smoothing on this moving average crossover indicator from NINZA, even though it dipped down a little bit below the 21 EMA, it didn't change the candle color. It's got to break it by a decent amount to trigger the candle color change. And when these candles are printing hollow, that just means that, you know, this candle closed down. And you can turn that feature on or off. You can just have them solid green if you want, but I like being able to see the direction. Doing this for over 16 years now, I feel like I've got a pretty good understanding of a few things. Definitely been in tons of trade rooms, tried out a billion different indicators, taken all kinds of educational courses, and none of this was straight out of the box. I've fine-tuned these indicators to exactly what I want to see and what works best for the market that I trade, which is pretty much just the NQ and watching the ES. But yeah, there's no one else that I'd want to promote after doing this for so long. NINZA's been my favorite. I've been using them for about 5 years. Alright, August 14th, Monday. Coming into the New York Open in a couple minutes here. Let's see. 60-minute chart. Last week we were headed down. Got a little pop-up at the end and quick rejection there. Not much directional movement on the 1 hour that I'm seeing at the moment. See what happens at the open here. Got about 10 seconds. Looks like we might be trying to break above the 20 line on the NASDAQ. Maybe we'll go up and test VWAP if we get a close above this. If this candle closes below, we got yesterday's low and then S1 down here to target. Just gonna wait and see how the first 1 minute candle closes. So far in pre-market, no major delta coming in, no major volume in any particular direction. Got the bottom of this volume profile here between 36 and all number basically. So our first candle closed down. A little bit of volume, nothing major. Pretty big order flow. And take a quick short. Not that much room down to yesterday's low. So we're filled right there. You see we had a nice pullback right up to the 21 EMA here. And then it dropped down. Looks like it's coming right down to yesterday's low here. But yeah, you can see pretty easy how I'm taking these trades and seeing which direction I want to be. We had bearish VWAP, red candles, major delta coming in on the ES and the NQ to the downside. And we've got our pivot, support and resistance, and yesterday's high, low, and close all acting as support and resistance targets. So we bounced right off yesterday's low on the NASDAQ. Depending on how this 5-minute candle closes, it could be bearish or bullish, depending on where it closes. We got a decent amount of volume coming in, 15K right now. See if we get price to close above the 21 EMA here. Might get our candles to turn green from our moving average crossover indicator. Potentially targeting VWAP. So far it closed below the 21 EMA. Candles are still red. The volume's pretty much matched in both directions, so no major directional bias yet. Mostly negative delta coming in on the ES and the NQ so far. Just waiting for this 5-minute candle to close. So we had our 5-minute candle close. It's not like a giant full-bodied candle in one direction, so I'm not sold on a direction yet. If we had a bigger candle, like a bigger body like this one or bigger on the 5-minute, and we had a bunch of bearish volume or bullish volume, that might help give a temporary direction. But right now it's pretty undecided. We still have the bottom of this volume profile here and a lot of support here on the support and resistance radar. And then we have our S1 here as well. Keeping an eye on that. Definitely not any big moves so far, so it might just be kind of a rangy, choppy Monday. So we're breaking above the 21 EMA here. Might be headed up to VWAP. Got some nice positive delta coming in. I'm going to go ahead and hop in on that one. Got some positive delta coming in on the ES as well. We've got a minute left on the 5-minute, but if we close up, we've got some decent volume in this candle too. Just looking at the 60-minute, we got plenty of room up here. No major resistance till whole number, which is right where VWAP is too. So it is kind of taking its sweet time. Just gonna get out now. I've had some major indecision so far. Well, there it goes. But it's a classic setup, a break above the 21 EMA. We had our moving average crossover, turning these candles green. We've got our volume delta indicator showing tons of delta to the upside on both the NQ and the ES. So we are getting a little bit of a breakout to the upside here. It'll be interesting to see if they want to push this higher or if we're just going to be more range bound and this is just going to bounce down off of VWAP or the pivot point or the yesterday's close on the ES. Those are all levels I'm going to be keeping an eye out. But if we continue having all this strong delta to the upside and we get some more strong volume to the upside, then I'm not going to be necessarily interested in a short. I actually feel pretty good with the trades. The 2 trades I've taken today, I might just call it if it's just going to be range bound and choppy. So right now VWAP's just acting as resistance at the moment. But you can see how easy it is for me to enter market orders using the innovative ordering indicator from NINZA. Just got these buttons which you can completely customize to any size. It could be even bigger. Change the text, change the color of the buttons. And I don't have to have NinjaTrader on the side taking up a bunch of space. So then I have more room for charts. So we just had another 5-minute candle close. Pretty good amount of delta and some more bullish volume. Still hanging out right at VWAP on our intraday VWAP Pro indicator here. All night we've been coming down here, so just kind of waiting and watching. Pretty happy with the trades I've taken already, so just waiting for the ultimate setups. Now we've got a bunch of negative delta coming in on the ES and the NQ. We got to close a little bit below the 21 EMA, not by much, and we're coming up to the center of the opening range. Pretty good size delta to the downside. We did not get a change in candle color on this break below because I've got smoothing applied to this 21 EMA using the moving average crossover indicator. So it's not going to change the candle color unless it breaks it by a pretty decent amount. Still just hovering around VWAP. So our 5-minute candle closed with some decent bearish volume. Again, it's pretty much even between the bears and the bulls with the volume so far. If you add up these 4 numbers for the first 20 minutes, total range-bound choppiness. So you can see how this moving average crossover indicator is keeping us out of bad trades. We definitely want the candle color to be in our direction, unless we've got a really good reason to take a counter trend trade. We have not broken above VWAP on the ES, so that could be keeping the NASDAQ down if this stays below the VWAP on the ES. And there's a pivot point on the ES right there too. It's a pretty potent area of resistance at the moment. We are getting some bullish delta coming in the ES and the NQ though. It's possible it'll test the pivot. But we need volume, we need volatility, we need some more decisive price action. We did finally get the push up to the pivot. I'm using the pivot lines, support and resistance lines on yesterday's low, high, and close, using those areas as targets, also the VWAP and the 21 EMA. Those are the areas I'm using for targets and also potential support and resistance. We've been green candles for a while now. Finally had some more bullish delta coming in on the ES and NQ. We were able to push up to the pivot point. Still a really slow, choppy movement today. I didn't feel comfortable getting into a trade. But pretty much a snooze fest so far, so I'm just going to call it a day. But yep, another day in the life using the lucky 7 different indicators from NINZA, all compiled into this system that I've developed and been using very successfully for the past few years. And before that, I've used the same elements that are behind all this, order flow, volume, moving averages, pivot points, yesterday's close, VWAP, I don't know if I already mentioned that, market profile, and then I love these support and resistance radar lines, putting these orange and blue lines on the 60-minute chart. Some more ways how I use these indicators. It's not going to make you a master trader overnight. And most of the stuff already comes with NINZA, or you can find free versions of. I just like the way NINZA codes theirs. They all run super smooth on my computer. I don't have any issues with lag or delay or bogging down my computer. No performance issues. I like how I can completely change pretty much every different aspect of the indicator that I want, so I can make it look exactly how I want. And that's important to me. I need to be able to see what I want to see when I'm trading and have it be very efficient and just show me the basics and be very simple and easy to read. So yeah, check out what NINZA has to offer. I've done a bunch of other videos on how you can throw together any 2 or 3 indicators and make a system of your own, something that you really feel you resonate with and something that works well for what you trade. It's definitely a personal journey that you're going to have to go on one way or the other. So even having a system like this, if it's not something you enjoy using, you're not going to follow it. So you really need to just kind of play around and find a system you like to trade. Have fun with it.